We provide information about sports betting for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm gambling regulations in your state of residence. To participate in sports gaming, you must be 21 years of age or older and be physically present in a state where sports betting is legal. If you or someone you know has a sports betting or gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org for more information and further assistance.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spread Zone. It's the 2025 MLB season preview. Can you believe it, fellas? We're here.
Let's
talking
do it.
baseball.
Yeah, this is it, Riz. This is it. This is an
America's
opportunity for players who like long-term, large sample size information to be profitable.
So, there was a poll recently taken. It was asked, America was asked, what is America's pastime? And surprisingly, football was not number one, and baseball is still considered America's pastime. Even though really the season to open up in Japan, we're not counting that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that.
I didn't
my fantasy baseball, we're doing our draft before this portion of the season, not that portion of the season.
I didn't recognize that as opening day.
No.
Opening day is this Thursday.
yeah.
Opening day overseas for
it doesn't
America's
count.
pastime.
So the purpose of this here program is to get you ready for the 2025 MLB season. These are your long-term plays.
Dodgers in 4.
You've already released your World Series play right out of the gate.
We'll go division by division, and we'll start with the American League East. And I'm going to start with Tim. Tim, which team do you think will win the AL East in 2025? And give me a reason, and then I'll tell you who the favorite is.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be the Baltimore Orioles' year. And my reasoning is I think the Red Sox are a very good team, but down, and the Yankees are just beat up. And so I think, and the other two I don't see as being in the mix, and the Rays and the Blue Jays. So therefore, I think Baltimore's young talent rises to the occasion, and they win the American League East.
Do you agree with Tim McKernan, Anthony Stalter?
So I do like Baltimore. The lineup chock full. The pitching is what
It's always the issue, pitching in that ballpark.
I mean, Zach Eflin, I think, is going to be their ace, so to speak. I don't love it. If Garrett Cole were healthy, I think it's all Yankees. I think the Red Sox are extremely interesting. So I've got the Red Sox winning that one. Lineup's great, lineup's solid, but with the additions of Garrett Crochet, Walker Buehler, I like that pitching staff for Boston.
Well, the odds makers have it as the Yankees coming out of the AL East, followed by the Red Sox, Orioles, Tampa Bay Rays, and then the Blue Jays.
I see that.
The Blue Jays at plus 1,000, the Yankees at plus 145.
Boy, have the mighty fallen with this Blue Jays team? Wasn't that long ago, everybody's predicting the Blue Jays to win it all.
And
Boy, not the biggest odds, by the way, of a team winning
This season?
this season.
Did I already?
No, I mean,
Give them out?
with the Blue Jays plus 1,000,
Oh, I get you. The biggest underdog.
the biggest underdog.
Got it.
Yeah,
All right, let's go to the American League Central.
that's
And
where you might find them.
the American League Central.
That's where you might find the winner right there, Anthony.
Yep, I think so.
Who do you see coming out on top in the AL Central?
I like the Detroit Tigers. With Cy Young Award winner, the reigning AL Cy Young Award winner, and Tarek Skubal. They brought back Jack Flaherty, old friend Jack Flaherty, Casey Mize, Reese Olson. I really like the pitching staff. Lineup, we'll see. They brought in Gleyber Torres to add to Riley Green, but to me, you'll hear a theme with me. It's really pitching and defense. So I like the Tigers to win it all.
I feel like
win the division.
this division is really up for grabs. I think any of 4 teams can win this division. I would go with the Kansas City Royals to win the division.
The Kansas City Royals, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have one of the, it's arguable, I guess, but top 3 players in baseball. I think people would agree with that, and Bobby Witt. And then in addition to that, I think that this is a team that's got some young players that are coming into their own. That's how they made their run. I would go with the Royals.
Well, Vegas has this as one of the closer of the divisions, with the Twins ultimately Vegas being behind, followed by the Tigers. Twins, Tigers, Guardians, Royals, and a plus 27,000, the Chicago White Sox.
Anthony, is it worth throwing $100 down to receive $27,000 the night the White Sox clinched the American League Central?
Tim, I wouldn't bet it with your money. My man.
$100 pays $27,000.
Do they win 50 games?
Their over/under is like 53.5.
Well, I'm going to ask you guys later who's going to have the best record in the league and who's going to have the worst record in the league. So save that talk. For later on in the podcast. All right, let's move on to the American League West, and I'll start with Tim McKernan. In the AL West, who do you think will come out victorious?
An odd offseason for the Astros because it looked like they were starting to go into a transition period, Riz. But now they are more committed to trying to keep the thing going in Houston, so I will go with the Astros.
Astros, and Vegas agrees with you?
I like the Mariners. George Kirby, Logan Gilbert.
There's some pitching there,
Luis
brother.
Castillo, Thiem, Emerson Hancock, Brian Wu. I love Seattle's starting rotation. Like, well, what about the offense? It's a difficult ballpark to hit in. I respect Houston. I respect Bruce Bochy's Texas Rangers. But if I'm going to go with pitching, I think the Mariners have a top 3 rotation.
Okay. So Vegas got the Astros coming out of the West, the Rangers, the Mariners, the Angels, and then the Athletics. And what are we calling the A's this year?
I think we have to call them the San Jose A's.
San Jose?
Everywhere I see it listed, they're just the Athletics.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're calling them the Athletics. They don't want to be attached to the Sacramento thing, so they're just going to be the Athletics.
The Athletics.
Until they move to the Strip.
I don't like it.
You don't like the movement, or you don't like that
No,
they
I
have a
don't.
label?
I don't.
They don't have a city.
They don't have a city.
Or a state, as the case may be.
It's
The
killing me
San
with-
Jose A's.
I got like an OCD thing. Like I need it. I need a city next to the name.
Sure. You almost skipped them, in fact.
The Athletics. The Athletics plus 2,600.
I'd be more willing to do the A's if you're just going to throw stuff around than the White Sox.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. And the A's got so much crap from baseball that they had to go out and sign some players.
Right.
Because they hadn't done anything in so long. Yeah, the A's have some young talent, as they always do.
All right, let's take a break. So AL, we got that set. Let's talk NL next on the Spread Zone. All right, we're back with the Spread Zone. My name is Riz. That there's Tim McKernan, Anthony Stalter. To his right, we're talking 2025 MLB predictions. We already did the AL. Time for the NL predictions. We'll start with the NL East, and I ask you, Anthony Stalter, which team do you think will win the NL East?
I really like the Braves. I respect what the Mets did this offseason. How can you not, throwing around the money? Give me the Phillies, though. I mean, we talked about the American League, and my theme is the pitching staff.
Yeah.
Phillies have, with Garrett Cole now out, I think the Phillies have the best starting rotation in Major League Baseball with Wheeler and Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez. You've got Ranger Suarez. I love their pitching staff. And last year, they took a step back to some degree, but with the All-Star, I mean, this is like the Dodgers. It's Dodgers light with this offense. So give me the Phillies.
I share your opinion, and furthermore, Riz, we're getting about 2-1 on our money taking the Phillies on this one, and so I really like getting the opportunity to get 2-1 on my money with that rotation. I think that is a core group that is on a mission as well. It would be a hell of an NLCS based on what we see here before the season gets underway between the Phillies and the Dodgers with that rotation against that lineup. I would go with the Phillies as well, especially 2-1, Riz.
All right, the Vegas people have the Braves coming out of the NL East, followed by the Phillies, the Mets, the Nationals at a plus 41,000.
Even more value than the White Sox, Anthony.
No,
How about
thank
that?
you, sir.
You're going to pass on the
$41,000.
$100.
The Miami
Turn it into
Marlins.
41,000.
I'm going to pass on that. Thank you, sir.
for a small $100 investment.
Yeah.
$41,000.
I'd rather invest in some water filters
You're gonna
that
pass.
could potentially earn me more the more I sell.
All right, we'll move on to the NL Central. We'll start with Tim McKernan. Who do you see winning the NL Central?
Absolutely wide open, and the preseason numbers for win totals throughout the division, Riz, back that up. The Cubs are even money approximately to win the National League Central, but their win total in Las Vegas is 86.5, which tells you that there isn't really high expectation for the team, and yet they're that substantial of a favorite to be even money. Next would be the Brewers, but from my standpoint, this division is wide open. There isn't a team, including the Pirates, that would surprise me winning the National League Central, and that's the only division in baseball I can say that, not because of necessarily quality, but because of lack of it. If I were to have to take a team, I would take the Cincinnati Reds.
Anthony Stalter.
You beat me to it.
Oh, we're on the same page in the National League.
Same page because exactly how you laid it out. Yeah. It's the division is fairly even. There's no stud horse, so you're looking at these odds. And as I look down at Cincinnati at plus 440 plus 450. That rotation is young and good, and Tito, the biggest acquisition I think in all of baseball this year, outside of Juan Soto going to the Mets, is Tito Francona. They hire Francona to put this thing all together. That lineup was banging last.
Yeah, there's some young talent there too. Of course, Ellie Cruz. And again, when you factor in the number of plus 450, getting 4.5 to 1 on your money, that's enticing for something that is wide open.
Do you remember in 2024 who was the favorite?
I would
think it'd be the Cubs
last year too, huh?
Yeah, because they got Craig Counsell and they made a couple of moves. I feel as though the Cubs were favored.
Because I don't remember.
Okay, I didn't know if you were about to give knowledge.
Nobody ever.
I didn't know if it was rhetorical.
Nobody ever likes the Brewers. They just win.
They just win the division. This is always the league that's kind of like nobody really knows what's going on. And it starts one way and it ends up another way.
It's wide open.
There's never any runaways. When was the last time a team ran away with the NL Central? It's been quite a while.
It has been a long while, and as I'm trying to recall. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Vegas has the Cubs, followed by the Brewers, the Reds, the Pirates, and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oof.
All right, we'll go with the National League West next. Everybody's on the Dodgers.
And rightfully so. I misspoke. I said, Yankees, if Garrett Cole, they'd have the best starting. I completely omitted the Dodgers, who have, I think, 10 starting pitchers in their rotation. All of them might as well be aces. The Dodgers have the best pitching staff in baseball. They have the best lineup in baseball. They have the most depth. They've got deep pockets, and I hate them.
I am so intrigued by the season win total for the Dodgers. It's 100.5, and it strikes me as being way too low. As crazy as that sounds for a team.
110 win team?
I think it could be record-setting, and I don't know why it's not getting more attention. Maybe people just don't care about a regular season win total. We did see the Mariners of 2001 win 118 games, but then not even get to the World Series. They lost to the Yankees in the ALCS. I think what we're going to see from the Dodgers in the regular season is potentially record-setting. So we're talking about that kind of win total. So to have that at 100.5 to me strikes me as way too low. I love the Dodgers, which of course is not bold. So I try to give you a little something, and that is a win total of 100.5 over it.
Now, fellas, for a mere $100 bet on the Colorado Rockies, you could win $50,000.
I would do it with the White Sox. I would do it with the Marlins. The National League West is already over, and it sure as hell is over for the Colorado Rockies. I shall pass. I'll focus on Anthony's water filters.
They've already, Tim, I've got a deal for you.
The Rockies at plus 50,000.
They before the podcast, the Rockies were eliminated. From
They got eliminated.
Yes, I saw that. Came over my phone. Got the alert.
All right, let's talk coming out of the. Let's talk coming out of the wild card. Let's talk coming out of the championship games. Who will be the American League winner? Who will win the American League outright? And I'll start with Tim on this one.
Deep sigh.
Yeah, it's tough because I do value the pitching. And so then to talk about the Orioles, that's the thing that can get you in October, and it's what's gotten Baltimore in October. If you want to go back a decade, the last time they'd gotten to the playoffs before recently, They just don't have the pitching, so therefore it's like that's the team that I expect to win the American League East. But when October rolls around, I would have to short that market. Man, it's the American League again because I think the Yankees are not going to be there.
Vegas has the Yankees.
I don't know. I don't see that. And I think a lot of Yankees fans would agree with me. I feel like Yankees fans are irritated that there hasn't been much activity to tend to the injury situation. Yeah.
My father's a diehard Yankees fan.
And they're furious that they didn't tend to the Stanton's injury and Cole's injury, and so they're kind of going in half-assed.
Vegas has the Yankees, Orioles, Red Sox, Rangers, Astros, Tigers.
It's odd to do, but I like the Royals to win the Central, and then if you gave me, I got to pick somebody to win the American League pennant, I would go with the Tigers.
Tigers.
Yeah.
So the Tigers are my AL Central squad, but I'm going to do something similar to what you did. I've got the Mariners win the AL West.
It's a nice play.
I've got the Rangers representing the American League. I think
At
that
plus 800.
Bruce Bochy, you get him in the postseason. To me, we like to, obsess over lineups and bullpen decisions. That matters in the postseason much more than the regular season.
Boy, I could not agree with you on more on that.
And that's where Bruce Bochy excels, right? And I think the Rangers will be in it. I think they'll be aggressive. They won 2 years ago, then kind of fell off last year. Give me the Rangers to represent the AL.
I feel like what the AL is going to be a sleeper. There's going to be a sleeper out there, and it could be the Tigers. It could be the Rangers. It could be the Mariners. It's. I wouldn't put any money on.
Yeah, as I'm looking at the teams, I feel like it's one that I wouldn't want to play. Yeah.
NL.
Dodgers in 4.
Dodgers in 4. Whoever they're playing.
Yeah.
It would be Dodgers in 4. I would.
The Dodgers are plus 135.
That's insane.
You're getting plus money.
Let's say there is a complete collapse.
I just don't know how there can be. It would have to be like an epidemic when you're talking about injuries because the depth is so ridiculous.
Who would your second place be?
Phillies.
Yeah, it'd be the Phillies.
Vegas has the Dodgers, Braves, Phillies, Mets, Cubs, Padres.
Dodgers, Braves.
You're getting the Dodgers at plus odds. You're not even to win the World Series.
You feel like we have a fiduciary responsibility to our families and our heirs and heiresses to put money on the Dodgers.
You said it, my man.
Yeah. I think we got to do something there. I think we got to make a little trip and do something to take care of our families.
If something happened, Phillies would be.
Yes.
Phillies would be my
for the state of the podcast. Phillies, because their offense is gonna carry them in the regular season. Their pitching should be excellent in the postseason.
And who will win the World Series?
I hate the Dodgers, but part of me is ticked off with Major League Baseball continuing to allow what's going on with free agency. Dodgers in 4.
I applaud.
Dodgers in 4.
It's a spite play.
I applaud everything that you just said.
So
there.
in Anthony Stalter's world, it's Dodgers, Mariners,
Dodgers, Rangers.
Dodgers, Rangers. Sorry,
Yep,
Dodgers,
right.
Rangers.
Dodgers, Rangers.
Dodgers in 4.
I'll go Dodgers and Tigers, but I expect the Dodgers to win too. The Tigers will get one though, Anthony.
Gentleman sweep.
Gentleman sweep.
Vegas has the Dodgers.
I like that.
The Dodgers to win. Braves, Yankees, Phillies, Mets, and Orioles.
Well, I don't see it with the Yankees. That's really surprising to me.
Vegas is high. They are high on the Yankees this year.
Yeah.
When did the Yankees trade for Eric Fetty and Nolan Arenado?
Oh, that's a nice question. I bet members of the audience on the radio show that Nolan Arenado would not be a member of the Cardinals on opening day, and I'm looking like I might be.
Okay.
I might be liquidating some assets.
Which you'll get back, of course.
When
you put $100
Yes,
on
exactly right.
the Chicago White Sox.
That's exactly right.
And win $27,000.
That's right.
All right, let's take a break. We'll take our final break. We'll come back and we'll start talking individual awards. We'll talk Cy Young. We'll talk MVPs. And who will have the most wins and who will have the most losses. It's the MLB, guys. It's the opening.
It's here.
It's opening
now.
day. It's now. Where are we putting our money? We'll tell you next. All right, welcome back to the Spread Zone. All right, we talked divisions, we talked conferences, we talked World Series. Time to talk about the individual stuff. Let's talk individual award predictions. Tim, American League MVP. Who do you think will take home that award in 2025?
Riz, I think this is the year that Bobby Witt Jr. becomes a household name, which is saying something for a Kansas City Royal. This guy is a ridiculous talent, and I think a lot of people around sports are going to start realizing just how special he is. Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals is my play.
He is at plus 280 and your favorite to win.
Yeah, he's sick.
The AL MVP. Anthony Stalter.
I'm going to take the most underrated player in baseball. He plays third base for the Cleveland Guardians. Give me Jose Ramirez.
It's a nice play,
to win the MVP. And it's purely based on odds and ability.
And what are the odds on him?
Plus 2,200.
Okay.
Wow.
So that is, I'm looking at
you got
odds.
a friendly number there. I like that.
I mean, Bobby Witt Jr., absolute stud. Aaron Judge is plus 300.
He's plus 300. He's second.
Yeah. I like the Rangers to potentially win the pennant this year. So Seager at plus 1,100. But then I'm looking at Ramirez, and I want talent. And I want somebody a little off the board. I'm not getting too nuts here, but I like Jose Ramirez.
It's a nice play, especially at that number.
Thank you, sir. He's going to put up numbers.
Favorites, Bobby Witt Jr., Aaron Judge, Gunnar Henderson for the Orioles at plus 850. Corey Seager from the Twins, 1,100. Vlad Guerrero Jr., and then Jordan Alvarez are your top picks to win AL MVP. All right, let's go to the NL. Anthony, your National League pick, MVP.
I got the Dodgers in 4. Give me Mookie Betts at plus 1,000. So everybody, I'm overlooking here Shohei and Juan Soto and Tatis. Bryce Harper at plus 1,400 is extremely interesting. I love Harper, but Mookie Betts, his value to a team that's loaded. I mean, maybe I should go off the. Hey, anybody in that lineup could win MVP for the Dodgers, so let me shift over. If I'm going to do that, give me Bryce Harper. But Mookie Betts is one of the best players in the league. I love the number. Mookie Betts plus 1,000.
I am going to go somewhat of a random play, but if I'm going with the Reds to win the National League Central, I think this guy's going to get even more buzz than he started to get last year. I will go with Elly De La Cruz.
I like that play.
Elly De La Cruz.
Nice.
The number I have in front of me, Riz, is plus 1,500.
I get you plus 2,000.
And you can get me plus 2,000. Yeah. I like your guy. Your guy's nice. I'm going with Elly De La Cruz of the Reds.
All right, let's talk Cy Young, American League Cy Young. Tim, we'll start with you. Who will win the AL Cy Young Award in 2025?
One that stands out to me as just being eye-opening as far as our numbers here, gentlemen. Because I can't see him getting through the year, but maybe with your play, Anthony, you might think that he will, and that is Jacob deGrom.
Yeah,
on the reunion tour here, on the comeback trail, seeing him at plus 1,400. I mean, I just can't imagine him being healthy enough to get through a whole season to be the Cy Young Award winner. So I know it's very chalky, but I've got to go with it. If I think the guy is the absolute best and he is the workhorse, and we talked about him a little bit earlier with the Tigers, and that's Skubal.
Tantalizing.
Yeah.
Give me George Kirby at plus 2,500.
You're riding that Mariner train.
I like the Mariners. They ballpark suppresses offense. So give me a pitcher that will do that.
So over Logan Gilbert.
I thought about Gilbert, but give me even more plus odds with George Kirby, who I think can post just as good numbers.
Anthony, staying with you. NL Cy Young.
Well, the obvious
odds
one
on the Skeens.
Yep, Skeens. But Zach Wheeler at plus 600. I know I'm not getting nuts here, but Zach Wheeler is going to throw a ton of innings. I don't love the ballpark, but I think he's going to post disgusting numbers. Give me Zach Wheeler plus 600.
I think I've got another fairly comfortable money play for you. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and I've got plus 2,000. Your guy might have it at plus 3.
I got plus 1,800.
I got plus 18.
Oh, wow. So we got to go with my guy.
Yes.
I feel like somebody from the Dodgers is going to have an absurd win total. Glasnow's actually got shorter odds. But I wonder about his longevity, similar to the DeGrom question mark. So I will go with Yoshinobu Yamamoto for your National League Cy Young in 2025.
All right. Now let's talk the MLB, both AL and AL combined. Your MLB home run champion. Who will hit the most home runs in 2025? Tim.
It strikes me again as so chalky, but I'm stunned that it's even available. To get close to 5-1 on my money on Ohtani, I'm taking Ohtani.
What's Soto? Do we have the Soto number?
I don't have the Soto number. Aaron Judge is your favorite to be the home run champion at plus 270.
You think Soto's
Ohtani
going
at
off?
480. Schwarber at plus 1,000. Alvarez is 1,400. Alonso 1,500. And Brent Rooker at plus 1,800.
So Soto had 41 last year, and granted, he played in that jet stream at Yankee Stadium. But I think Soto could put up big numbers at City Park. Give me Soto.
Okay.
Now that's my National League. So did you ask? Well, that's
Yes,
total.
MLB.
That's
Total.
baseball,
Just
yeah.
MLB total.
Yeah, give me Soto.
Most team wins. I mean,
Dodgers
in the MLB,
are going to win 108.
Who do you predict will have the highest win total?
It's the Dodgers, but
the
what
Dodgers.
intrigues me about this is the number is minus 380.
Yes.
And that's brutal as far as what you have to pay for it, but I love it so much that it's actually tempting to do it. I will be shocked if there aren't stories around the country at some point in May about the Dodgers being like 40-10, and could they set the major league record for wins? So from that standpoint, minus 380 actually, as crazy as it sounds, is worth it.
What's interesting is that they won 98 games last year and 100 games the year prior, but they're so loaded now, and
They're even
Ohtani's
better.
going to join the rotation.
Yes.
I think they win 108 games this year, and I don't think they break a sweat.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good division, too. I mean, the Padres and Diamondbacks will be competitive. I don't think the Giants get close to a wild card, but the Giants kind of loaded up a little bit this year, too. So they're going to have some competition. But
Now, the final one here is one of my favorites, unless you live in one of these cities. Who will have the worst regular season record?
I'm going to go with the Rockies, actually, more than the White Sox. If I were betting season wins, and again, this isn't because I'm high on the White Sox. It's relative to the number. The number I've seen for the White Sox regular season win is 53.5. It's just such an absurdly low number that I like the over. I actually was on the A's over last year, not because I thought they'd be good. They did cover it because the number was set so low. The one that I would take would be the Rockies. In part because
Plus 220.
But yeah, and I'm getting 2-1 on my money, and they're going to have to deal with that division. Plus, they're warm garbage.
not hot, but warm.
Hey, listen, Vegas is saying that the White Sox will have the worst record in baseball, followed by the Rockies, the Marlins, the Nationals, the Athletics, and the Angels. Anthony, who's your money on?
I got to go White Sox. Boys, minus 306 run differential last year for the White Sox. They were 51.5 games back of the first place Guardians last year. And this was with Garrett Crochet pitching most of the year. And Eric Fetty pitching, very well, coming over from, overseas. So I got to go with the White Sox, despite the fact that I agree completely with in Tim's logic of the Rockies having the tougher road. But I got to go White Sox.
Listen, of everything we talked about in this podcast, what's the locks for you guys? What's the safe bet?
I mean, it's from my standpoint, it is incredibly valuable to take the Dodgers win total over 100.5.
I think
it's just gold. Best record, Dodgers as well. And from my standpoint, we're about to witness history with the Los Angeles Dodgers. It might drive people up the wall because I do share with your mindset that I don't like that baseball's allowed this to happen. I guess it's more MLBPA than it is baseball, but either way that this can happen. But I'm from my standpoint, I think you're going to see a team that's going to challenge for the all-time regular season win total.
So I like that play. The best combination, though, of what I believe will happen and with the odds, the Dodgers win the pennant at plus 135.
Yeah, if you're talking just getting your money's value, yeah.
I don't have to worry about what the American League's going to throw at me. They just have to win the pennant, Give me that.
All right.
Dodgers to win the pennant.
Listen, do with this information what you will. I think we've covered it all. Anything else we're missing, fellas?
No, you have a fiduciary responsibility to your family to unload everything that you have and take the Dodgers over on their win total. And that, of course, is just my opinion.
Or the Rockies plus 50,000.
You also have that option.
Again, Riz, I saw the alert on my phone. Unfortunately, again, the Rockies have
been eliminated.
Have been officially eliminated
All right.
from
Well, there you
postseason
go.
contention.
That's the Spread Zone MLB 2025 preview. Good luck, everybody. See you next time.
We provide information about sports betting for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm gambling regulations in your state of residence. To participate in sports gaming, you must be 21 years of age or older and be physically present in a state where sports betting is legal. If you or someone you know has a sports betting or gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org for more information and further assistance.